brings back the most amazing memories. Not once did I have any sort of anxiety during my wedding week, and it was just fabulous. So, spritz a little bit right now. So, this fragrance in particular has mint, dark and sexy woods, and clean water infused with herb. So you get this little scent card with each fragrance so that you're able to know the notes and read about it. I've heard somebody describe this fragrance before in the most perfect way, and I want to try to recreate that. It was that you are on a island somewhere and you're freshly showered and tanned and by the sunset, by the water, and somebody next to you has a really good fragrance and scent on, and you're having a conversation with them and they just brushed their teeth. So you're getting all those notes of that mint, that kind of tropical feel, and it's not like overly sweet or anything, or overly like minty. It's so clean and perfect, and it just reminds me of that week and makes me feel so good. The other one I wanted to call out that smells phenomenal, I'm going to botch, but Maison de Lay's Lost Lovers. This fragrance smells so good. It has that kind of citrusy quality to it. So you can see here, it has bergamot, orange flower, rose, sandalwood, and vetiver, and it smells phenomenal, so fresh. I love Scentbird because it gives you the opportunity to switch up your fragrance monthly, not have to spend the money to get a full bottle of these fragrances. My wedding fragrance is about $230 a bottle, so paying a fraction of that price as an option to be able to relive my wedding is so nice. Both of these fragrances are bomb, and I would highly recommend checking them out. With Scentbird, you can get 55% off your first month using the code BABE55OFF. You can find it below, linked in the description box. That is BABE with 2 E's, 55 off, all one word. Okay, speaking of fragrance, I'm gonna tap on this glass candle a little bit. So we've established it's okay to be feeling what you're feeling. You do not need to be feeling guilty if you overshared, if you are just struggling in general, you feel like you were awkward the night before, you just feel low, you feel like a loser. This is your mind playing tricks on you. I can assure you, you are none of these things. A loser, an oversharer, a slob, whatever it is, okay? And just imagine all of the people that you love and respect and idolize and look up to have felt this way more than a few times, okay? Me personally, I can have days where I'm totally on my A game and I wake up feeling fabulous. Sunday Scaries, Hangxiety. I'm waking up feeling like the biggest POS ever. So if you can, I want you to allow yourself to do the unhealthy things, okay? Because when you're really in the thick of your Sunday Scaries, your anxiety, you know, you feel guilty for wanting to watch hours of TV, wanting to eat the fast food, whatever. And I want you to give yourself permission to do those things, to sit in front hours. You have nothing else going on. You live alone or with a roommate. You don't have any other responsibilities. And you're chilling. Not every day on this earth has to be productive. Period. And I'm going to give you the hot take that I think having those hangover scaries, and when you have those days where you're not feeling yourself, and allowing yourself, leaning into the laziness, makes you, like, it catapults you into is no excuse as to why you can't go outside, okay? What I've recently learned, and I'm still learning, is you can take the smallest little walk and it still counts. It's still good for you physically, mentally, mind, body, soul. I used to think just taking a walk, it was like only beneficial if I could walk 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, even 1 mile, right? And that's not the case. There's even been studies that have shown the benefits of just getting out of your house, even like after a meal or whatever, what it can do to you physically, let alone mentally. Sorry, I don't know if you just heard the screaming. They're doing construction still. I think it will never end. If I lived directly next door to this person, I would be losing my mind. It's like a few houses down. Might as well be in my living room. Anyway, you can take a 10, a 5-minute walk. You could take the smallest little walk around your block, okay? If it's dark out, be safe, okay? If you don't live in a safe neighborhood, don't be unsafe. But bring your pepper spray if you need to. Try to go when it's light out. Have your wits about you. Can you bring a friend? Can you bring your brother? Can you bring your mom, your dad, your neighbor? You know, take a little walk. Put your little headphones in. Some really good podcasts are by Wondery. Let me see how I spell it. I feel like for me, these have been so great. Wondery, WONDER. They have some amazing stories that can totally distract you. I'm listening to The Shrink Next Door, and it's so good. And I really am looking forward to like my little after dinner, you know, walk or lunchtime walk or, you know, treadmill walk at the gym if it's raining out or whatever. Listening to this podcast, you don't like walking. You can do no matter how terrible you feel, even if it's just 10 minutes. Changing your environment, changing your scenery, okay, is so important. Even when it feels like it doesn't matter, and that's not going to make any difference. Even if it makes a little shreddy shred of a difference, it's still good for you. Another thing is that you're already doing something positive by being here and watching this video and seeking out help for your Sunday scaries, your anxiety, whatever it may be, okay? So if you've done all those things, you've watched your trash TV, you've eaten your greasy food, you know, you're watching this video, after you've done all those things, it can be helpful to prepare yourself for tomorrow. For me, what I usually have to prepare, I pack my husband's lunch, okay? I clean up the house a little bit because for some reason, no matter how much I clean, like before I go out, my house, I feel like it's always in shambles. My version of shambles. You know, on Sunday morning. So, cleaning up, throwing away the remnants of the fast food from earlier, packing yourself your lunch, getting your bag ready for work tomorrow, taking a look at your calendar, seeing what you've got to do tomorrow, and just sitting with yourself for 5 minutes, thinking about when, where, and how you're going to do these things and accomplish these goals. Ironically enough, oftentimes what we have to do the next day is like the scariest part, we think, but once you face it head on and feel prepared to tackle that big presentation or whatever, you know, the next day you're gonna feel so that you know once that's all good, then you go and you take your shower. Make sure you shower when you're feeling this way. Just makes you feel so much better. You're clean, you're refreshed, your skin feels good, you're putting your moisturizer on. You don't have to do an everything shower. Like people that talk about doing an everything shower as like self-care, like that's not self-care to me. That's something annoying that I do only before I'm about to be in a bikini or a like short dress. Like I don't want to shave my entire body. Like for me, like I could not care. I could be the happiest wildebeest in America. Like I just want to shower and get clean. Wash your hair. That feels nice to do as well. Get your shower, get back in your most comfy clothes, light a candle, open a window, even if it's raining, even if you didn't go for that walk earlier, open a window, let some of the, air of the outside world inside, okay? And, make sure of all things, you need to prioritize your sleep. This seems cliche, we know this. No, you don't know this, okay? It is so important. My husband's always like, yeah, I know. He is very sleep deprived, and I'm like, you are so sleep deprived. Like, I think this could change your whole mental outlook in life. I swear to God, if he could just go do a clinic and be induced and sleep for 3 weeks, I think he would wake up feeling like a literal new human being. I think he is so incessantly sleep deprived that it's just so hard to get out of that. So you have to be disciplined. Look at your phone, scroll your phone all day for 15 hours. Look at screens up until bed. I won't be unrealistic and tell you not to do those things. The last thing I see before I go to bed is a screen. You're not going to change that